Hello, friends. How are you guys? I'm live streaming again. Woo woo! A lot of stuff has happened, huh? Right? My girlfriend's also in the room. She might make a little noise here and there. She has headphones on, watching TV. It was really funny. As soon as I started like streaming. I had the mic off, and as soon as like TV comes on, the TV, while it's muted, the on music that plays that we did it didn't before we reset it, like we did like a factory reset, and all of a sudden now it makes noise whenever like turns on, and it's just like, oh, you're not gonna be quiet, are you? So funny. Anyways, let me get on main. There we go. Hey, I did a little extra with the streamy stuff. Put a little overlay on top. It's not ideal. It's not done or anything, but it was just something for today. I don't know if I'm gonna make a habit of streaming a lot when I'm doing animation, but I don't know. I'm trying to like promote this cartoon I worked on. Like I've been making like TikTok stuff and little videos and things. Just trying to like, I don't know. I want people to watch it. I want it to do good. It's my it's not my first time directing, but it's my first time actually directing people. Like, like I've made my own films, or like my own like short films with like the short films. That's so pretentious sounding. Um, I made little cartoons like the Bowser World and stuff, and I directed people, and by directed I mean like, hey, I wrote a script. Can you guys read this? Oh man, your guys' interpretations of what I wrote is much better than what I had in my head. Thank you. Directing, if you will. But this is like the first time like I'm actually managing other like visual artists, and so it's super important to me. And I really like Chucky. I have such a love-hate relationship. It's killing me because I really want to make a video on like season 2 of Chucky because it's such a mixed bag of emotions. But anyways, I figured, little live stream. It's like the end of the year. Might as well, pop in, say hi, and work on some Chucky. So at this point, the actual Chucky cartoon's done. Like it's currently like sounds being worked on. We got kind of a little bottlenecked a little bit production wise because Zach had Sam Green work on Elon buys Minecraft, which I think is like the main thing that my boss is really like focused on at the moment, trying to get that out. So Max essentially had two shorts to work on. Then on top of that, he was picking audio for future stuff. It was just got very bottlenecked. So like right now, it's kind of like in this limbo of just waiting for the audio to finish, which is exciting. I'm super stoked. I hope you guys love it. I think Chucky fans will like it. We've put it on the Chucky forum, like on the Reddit, and basically every Chucky fan that like has interacted with the piece has mostly said good things. I think the most negative thing was Brock's impression of Chucky slips out of Chucky and into like a Fat Tony type thing. And with the particular clip, I agree. But honestly, I'm gonna be truthful. I feel like Brad Dourif doesn't get Chucky 90% of the time, or not 90%. Like he gets it like 90%, but there's a few takes that he does. I'm just like, it doesn't sound like Chucky to me. But I mean, it is Chucky, the doll speaking. It's Brad Dourif, so whatever. Lines aren't always gonna be perfect. Before I jump into actual Chucky stuff, I just wanted to show off this art piece that I made for my biology teacher's daughter's Hanukkah present. I don't know, just had a really good interaction with my biology Miss Malkin is her name, and I don't know, I like this piece. It's a really rushed piece. I did it this morning at like 4 a.m., but overall I'm pretty happy with it. I think I forgot to do a little shading here, but oh well. This is that thing. This is some concept art for that project I talked about yesterday about wanting to do wholesome sex stuff. I don't know. You might be able to convince me later in the stream to show off that. I just left it up because why not, right? Yeah, let's click off this and let's work on some Furby stuff. Chucky's Toy Story. Or my version, I'm making it Chucky's Killer Toy Story. And there's no drink in that. I'm trying to drink out of the water. I should have filled this up before the stream, but I'm a genius. Man, my headphones keep falling off. Sorry about that. My headphones, they don't stay on if I move my head up for whatever reason. So, let's see here. I'm going to... Alrighty, let's see. I'm trying to get everything situated. Cool. Okay, so there's 3 shots for sure that's happening in my extended cut of the thing. 2 shots are kind of a bookend thing that I thought would be really cute. If you guys are familiar with like the Chucky YouTube channel, a lot of times they have like Chucky talking at the viewer for behind the scenes stuff, and I was like, oh, I want to take that. So I have my background artist doing like a fireplace a type of thing, like where we're like, so it's gonna be like Chucky sitting in like a armchair, and I think he's gonna be reading like Voodoo for Dummies or something, and just be like, oh hi, I didn't see you there. And then the other clip that I want to work on for sure that I want to do is I want to do some alternate takes of some of the jokes. So like here, let me open up the file. That sounded like the nozzle from Venture Brothers. Like, welcome to the nozzle. Or, like, look into the nozzle. While the nozzle calibrates the nozzle. Alright, let's see here. So it is, I think it's 03, 04? No, 05? Yeah. So, yeah, it seems like Elon Musk is doing some exciting things with Twitter right now. And exciting is a very objective word here. Okay. The whole, like, preventing people from being able to advertise other social media because he was seeing so many people like advertise their leaving is so funny. Like Elon's like reaction to all the stuff has been probably the best part. Obviously it sucks because so much of it's used. Like I'm not excited about losing 20k followers on Twitter, you know? Like I don't know if I can get that again. I think that was just luck. Like I don't know how I did it. Well, it's probably because I was on like a podcast and I was you know, I've done stuff and things, but like I don't know, the momentum that I built over all this time to be washed away and have to like start over fresh. Like I don't have the same internet presence, so like I feel like I've become extremely irrelevant. But we'll see. I'll make a name. Okay, so this is the shot that I want to redo, and I might go ahead for today work on this particular shot, just because I think it's going to be fun. It's also the longest shot, I think, that I'm going to be redoing, because I hate myself. So I wasn't, like, happy with all the... So in this particular shot, Woody's like, hey, we have these people with us, or whatever, and... that's not how it's much better than what I'm saying. But what he's like announcing Andy's toys. And so we just have kind of like this really fun montage where we can kind of just have like different, you know, like things. And I wasn't like super happy with all of them. I wanted more like joke names, like actual like puns and stuff. So like Space Ranger works, but it's not like really like, it's not saying anything, you know, it's just generic Space Ranger because there was a Space Ranger in Toy Story, and I like to be a little bit more deep than that. And so a lot of these jokes I came up with as I was animating things and be like, oh, we'll add that later, you know, like I'll do my own cut. I think the one that's really funny to me the most, like okay, for example, I don't really want Brody to be in my short, not because I don't like Brody, but because like I don't think Chucky fans know Brody. You know, like it's just kind of this out of place reference that I don't think anyone would get for what this was. Um, and then like I think my favorite story I like to like jokingly rant about is Dale Truckman. And I think I explained it last stream, but to keep it like simple for anyone that's popping in, since that one got taken down for reasons. Um, Essentially, it's just originally it was supposed to be a character called Man Car, and the joke was that it was a transformer, but like with human flesh instead of like robot and stuff. And I thought that was funny. Like it's not like the most amazing joke or anything. It's like Beanie Baby, you know. It's like a very Gravity Falls joke, and then it got mutated into Dale Truckman, and because the Dale was in the name, my producer was like, it has to look like Dale Gribble. And it just feels really out of place. It just not connected with the rest of this. So I was like, all right, and I fought to change it, but so my own version. So I get to do my version, which is going to be almost clicked on that. Almost I clicked on it. Oh no, no. That's so funny. Okay, so yeah. Sir Mashed Potato, you get to stay. I liked you, but I renamed him Mr. Mashed Potato. Because I like the alteration, the double M's. I like that better than Sir. But I understand why the Sir was chosen. Okay, so let's import some audio. Baby, that's rude. I'm streaming. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear that, but my cat's apparently deciding to tear apart a basket that we have. I don't know if you noticed, but me posting about cats have increased it significantly since I started living with the cat. 2 cats, actually. All right, let me mute the royalty-free, DMC-free copyright music for Twitch streamers real quick. That's the reason why that music's playing, and because it's free. But here's the original line, just for comparison's sake, all 2 of you.
Let's see. We have Sir Mashed Potatoes, Space Ranger, Play Dude, Play Ho, Brody Armstrong, Stop It, Tickle Me Emo, Beanie Baby, Dale Truckman, Pocket Pet, and Karen's Anal Be. That's one of Andy's mom's toys.
Okay, so that's the original audio that's happening in the Animeme cut of the short. So for my cut, it's a little bit longer, just a wee bit. I think there's more fun toys. Like I think there's more sincere toys in my version. Is the way I kind of been describing it. But anyways, cut that one. Here's this audio.
Let's see.
Oh my gosh, why is it playing both? There we go.
Time for a Woody's Roundup. Let's see. We have Mr. Mashed Potato, Robo-Clop, Easily Baked Oven, G.I. Grow, Tickle Me Emo, Beanie Baby, Play Dude, Play Ho, Same Day Optimus Prime, Pocket Pet, Vintage 1993 Sega Tie-In McDonald's Happy Meal Toy Knuckles, and Frog. And Karen's Anal Be. That's one of Andy's mom's toys.
So yeah, so it's a little bit of a difference. Definitely, I can't just like plop in new toys. I have to do a little bit more extra animation in the beginning and the end because I added more dialogue to it. But I really do like the new take, and I think the toys that I'm going to do are going to be really, really fun. So let me turn on the background, and let's not worry about Woody or anything. Let's just get the toys situated. I know in the old version I have kind of like them all in like one particular like file like this. I don't know if that was the most economic way of doing it. So let's take a looky look to see what we can do here to make this a little bit more efficient. I think what I'm going to do is end up breaking their symbol, and let me save this as a new cut. Yeah. yeah, my cats are chirping and stuff. Around noon, they get pretty like active. I feel like they're trying to convince me to feed them 2 hours early, but they eat at 2 and they know it. We have a whole alarm and everything. So if you hear that little meow, meow in the background, that's where that's coming from. Also, I think my girlfriend is like watching something, so like she has headphones in, so she's not like annoying the stream or whatever, or like like she's doing her own thing. Just happened to be in the living room together, and so the cats are like, "Why are you ignoring us?" Okay. So how's people? I see there's a few people. Streaming status is poor. User keyframe frequency is 4 seconds or less. Let's frame. I don't know what I can do about the settings. It might be just I might not have good enough internet for this. We keep talking about upgrading sooner than later. So we'll see. California's weird. I don't know. Okay. Why is no? Anyways, my girlfriend was getting like free internet for whatever reason. It's not good internet, but it was free. I'm a little bit more bougie than that. Okay, go back. Go back. This is what I meant by like how this might not be the most economic way of going about this, is because me trying to break the symbol is literally like freezing the computer because it's such a big symbol. At least that's my interpretation. There could also be some issues with the fact that I'm live streaming too. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just keyframe where they're going to end up. Man, I never really know when it comes to like editing old files like this, like how messy I want to be. Because like the easiest way of like fixing or like changing some of this is just like being really messy with the symbols and stuff. And I don't know if I want to. I think I want to like develop better habits than just whatever. Um, so let's go ahead and just get Woody on screen. And yeah, so this is where Woody gets a little tricky because, like, you see, there's this whole extra animation that's got to be pushed back, and a lot of the animation is also like inside of a symbol. So, like this, the animation's in here, but then there's like extra camera movements I did here. So it's just like, oh, this is going to be a little tricky. Okay, maybe Woody's not the best person to start out with. Let's start out with the toys then, and keep my thing going. Let's get rid of the original audio, and here we go. Man, I got so used to the Mr. part, or not Mr., but Sir Mashed Potatoes, that it actually threw me off hearing Mr. instead. Man, I have a so this is a really weird complaint, and I don't think this is like relevant. Like, I don't know if you guys will get this or not, but like, I'm not using a traditional desk, so like the keyboard is the keyboard tray is like this additional add-on that I installed onto this regular TV or like a um, kitchen table, right? And the only thing that sucks is because the way that it's like hooked onto it, it makes it hard for it to stay like out. So like I have to constantly keep pulling my keyboard closer to me, and it's really frustrating me. Like so like I have to like move like so sometimes I have to like be on my tippy toes to force my knees into the tray to keep it from going up, and it's super uncomfortable and legitimately just it's not just it's not working. I need to figure out a better solution. So RoboClop, I don't actually have a sketch for, so we're gonna have to design one. I had one. There was a bit where like I think my computer did like a system restore at one point, and I like lost some work. All I know is that like there was a power outage, and then when I got on my computer, a lot of the files reverted back to the day before, and that was really frustrating because one of those particular animations was the big money shot. So I see three people are watching. Do you guys have like a YouTube account? Do you wanna leave a comment? Pop in the chat. Say hi. Um, all right. Let's see here. RoboClop. I'm only onion skinning it so I can get like the same like sizing for it. I don't want to draw it too big. Hi. How are you? Are you having a good day? Hope you are. Hi. How are you guys? Okay, day. That's good. So RoboClop was actually a joke written by my friend David. Some of my jokes are just David's jokes. I just take them because he suggests them, and I'm like, that's funny. I'm gonna use that. They're just probably like a good like I would say like 20% of my jokes are all me stealing from David. So yeah, so it's My Little Pony and RoboCop put together. Is the RoboClop. I thought it was funny. I thought it like when my when David suggested it to me, I was like, "That's so funny. I have to use it." Um, so yeah. Now let's see what we can do to make this My Little Pony into RoboCop. Oh hi, Conkles. How are you? Honestly, the music's kind of chill. Getting over being sick and trying to do art things and stuff. Oh my gosh! When I got COVID, like between like being like withdrawing from meds and COVID, I really did lose my creativity for a bit there. Like I'm working on an NDA project, and I ended up like crying in the call with the person. Don't worry, like we're friends. It's not like a like the IP that I would be working on is like a big name IP, but like the person that's like commissioning me is someone that like I'm friends with. I've went to the beach with them. So it's not like a like I'm just like breaking down in front of random people, but it's one of those things where it's like they believe in me and I don't, you know, like they're just like, you're the one person I know that can make this thing work, and I'm like uh, um I admittedly got a little bummed for a bit there because I had applied to a couple of things because I wanted to do pixel art really badly, and I applied to a few things, and I knew my portfolio wasn't ready, but everyone else, people who don't do pixel art, keep like, you're amazing, keep doing it, you got this. And I'm just in my head, I'm like, this isn't. I need to do. There's so much I have to learn. There's so much stuff, um, and things. And like right now, I'm in a very very good headspace when it comes to art because I had just finished the Chucky short, and so like in my head, I'm like, I made a 3 minute cartoon that looks really good. So I don't know. Like I'm in a really good headspace as far as that stuff goes now. But I totally get you about like getting sick and then like not feeling creative or having difficulty. Yeah, yeah, I'm very happy where I'm at now. Like things could have landed a lot worse. Again, if you can hear baby's just chirping and meowing. The other the other kitty is just currently laying on my partner as she like pets her, and it's so cute. I love that I have this like thing on the side that I wanted to share with you guys, but like I'm not ready to do it yet because it's a little personal. It's like super deep personal art that like reveals a little bit about me in a way that I'm not ready for public. And I was like, you guys could probably convince me to like show it to you. But then like as soon as I like try to click on this document, it like accidentally pulled out the other, and then like I was able to pull it off screen before it, like, the computer like recognized it's supposed to start showing it. But to me that's just really really funny. Another really funny thing is our cats. So the thing that sucks about where I so the place that I live in currently, it's a little it's small. It's very small for two people. It's a great like studio, and it works. It works for us for sure. It's just we had to be a little creative about stuff like our kitchen. I need to like send a picture to like post on Twitter. Just because I think like my partner's genius, and I really like what she does. And she actually took the time to like take like shower curtain rods, like took two of them and like put them like in our like very rectangle shaped um like kitchen. And so now we have like our paper towels are stored on our ceiling, and that's just super cool. I don't know, she's super cool. I love my partner. I love Chanel. I don't think I say her name that much. She had a stage name for a bit, so it I knew her as a different name for a long time. I guess I didn't have to specify stage name. I could have just said she had a username that I was used to. I'm super bad at optics. Yeah, I had never planned to get a cat because pets in general are really expensive, and so like I've always acknowledged that as an expense, so that was a deterrent for me. But you know, she already had two cats, and I fell in love with them, and I loved them. Like I straight up sometimes will like stare at Honey, our white cat, who's just so gorgeous, and she'll like look at me, and she does this thing where she like closes one eye, so it looks like she's winking all the time, and that's super cute. But she's just existing, sitting next to me, and I'm just like, it's so gorgeous. I literally have cried. I've shed tears over how much I love this cat. So the funny story about my cats this morning was because our apartment is so small, the cat's litter box is like right here next to me, and that sucks because they poop. Cats like to poop, and Honey has a thyroid problem, so when she poops, it smells. It smells really bad, and it's right next to me. So it's just like, oh, it's like someone let off a bomb. Like I don't know. There was like a video that recently got posted of like this guy like opening a can of fish or something in his car, and he's like, "Oh god, it's so bad." That's essentially what happened with me and my cats. But what made it so funny, it was the one cat left, and I'm like, "Oh, thanks." You know, I warned my partner because we both know that if Honey goes in the litter box, it's going to be pretty bad. Um, and Honey like coming out of the litter box, immediately running, realizing we're both watching. And cats are like notoriously shy poopers, which is why you need a litter box and not just let them do whatever. Um, and anyways, so what makes it so funny to me is that like she runs out. She's like looking at me and running there, and just like clearly it's just embarrassed and doesn't want to be in this situation. But then immediately after that, the other cat goes into the litter box, and it's like no, like it just my reaction to it was like no, please, please no. And then after that cat got done, the other cat decided she wasn't done either and started going back in there. And I'm like, no, Honey, do not go in there. Do not. Please, no. It's probably not funny in story format, but in the moment, I was dying. It was so fucking funny. The second check had decided to hell. Well, and then the cat. Well, while the second. Okay, so while Honey was in there the second time, Baby went in there and started like looking. And I'm like, oh god, there's already a cat. Is Baby gonna go in there? Like, I legitimately thought that both our cats were gonna be in the same litter box at the same time, but no. But it was just really funny the way that like it all like worked out and happened in the moment. I don't know. I'm gonna move the head down. I know that like the pose that I was looking at when I drew this, I essentially eye traced an already My Little Pony pose. The only thing is that like there's fur and stuff to like that like helps make this look less like empty. So that's the only reason why I'm like doing what I'm doing here. Nope, clicked on the wrong one. So this character is not going to be animated, so this is why I'm doing so much detail work on it. I normally would not. This would be like a no-go. It's not actually that much detail, but I usually like to streamline my designs a lot more than what I'm doing for the toys. But the thing about the toys was I wanted them to be a little extra detailed because I wanted you to look at them and never forget that they're toys. Um, like I know a lot of cartoons will do the thing where I don't know, they do the thing where like when a toy comes to life, it becomes a like living, breathing creature as far as the animation goes, you know. And that's not something I wanted. I wanted this to, be like, oh, okay, you see the gears, you see the lines, you see the things. Yeah, essentially, I just didn't want you to forget. So feel free to ask me anything. Point of articulations tend to differ, which is super charming to me. Could you repeat that, Kunkles? I think I get what you're trying to say, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think the helmet works better without it, but the tail's fine. So toys have the dedicated joints that move in many animation. The movements are not consistent with those joints, so it's. Oh yeah, yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, yeah, 100% that. Like one of the things that bothers me about a lot of the like Pinocchios and stuff, like the Del Toro, which by the way I absolutely love. It's a gorgeous movie, and this is not actually like a real critique or anything. This is just more of a like, huh, my asshole self can't get past this one little element, and that's the puppet's mouth just it's able to like talk and phone him somehow. It's not designed in a way that like would be able to, like it's wood, so that obviously it's a story and I don't actually give a shit. But yeah, there's a piece of me that's like there's a little cynical asshole that was like What I think I lied. I think I might animate is this maybe. Um, I think I could get away with doing it cheaply with like this with a rotation here, and then rotation here, and I might be able to like cheat it enough. We'll see. I'm gonna make them separate like assets so that I can after the fact. But like if it, I mess around with it for like 15 minutes, I'm like, it's gonna be more effort than it's worth, and you know, well, we'll just have it steal. They don't all need to be animated. So let's jump into it. Actually, let's check here. Seems pretty similar wine weight. It's magic. They're talking temple. That's fun. I like that. I'm actually a little sad for a moment here. There's a probability that I might not. This might Chucky short might be my last like big thing in Flash. I might be switching to Toon Boom starting next year. Yo Mama is willing to like they. I told them that like you know the industry standard is Toon Boom now, and you know me not working in Toon Boom is just making me more rusty and stuff, and so it sounds like we might actually get to switch, and that's exciting, right? Like, I get to learn a new program and one that's really powerful and looks good. But I don't know. There's a piece of me that's going to miss Flash, though. Like, I don't know. I've been animating in Flash for the last like 10 years, more or less, and it's it's been frustrating. Of course, it's Flash, but I don't know. I have to say that I'm pretty nostalgic for it. Maybe nostalgic's the wrong word, but we use nostalgic for Pokemon, and it's still around. So I don't know. It's. I feel like I've just now unlocked the power of being able to do cool stuff in Flash, so now it's time for it to go. I'm not sure what my future is with it though. Um, I've got some ideas I want to do soon though, for sure. Like I'm actually really excited about working on things. Like I kind of want to bring back Bowser World, but I at the same time I'm also like big on a I'm on a 2D animation kick now that isn't not Pixar. It's not that's not like pixel art. Which don't get me wrong, I will go back to pixel art soon enough. It's it's a huge part of me. Did I do that too low? Yeah, I did. Okay, let's undo that. I did write a script if you guys are interested. It is not a super funny script. I meant it to be actually more of a sincere script for the ending to Pokemon. I've written it. It has not been greenlit by Anime yet, so we'll see. Um, I was kind of half expecting the producer who wrote his own Pokemon short to be like, no, we already have a Pokemon short in script. Let's just use that one instead. But I do like mine a little bit more. Mine's like again, it's not. It's more of a. I feel like that's my like skill set is like making really sincere parodies and stuff where like you can tell that the person who making it, like really cares about the franchise and puts in these little nods. Like they're not like surface level stuff. You can just tell that like I know about the franchise or something. Like I put a lot of myself and what I love about the series into it, and it's not just like aha, Bowser. Like I guess like what I'm trying to say is like the first Bowser World where it's Princess Peach is like, trying to get him to do sexual stuff. I feel like I did it the most sincere way possible for that particular joke. Um, like it felt authentic to Mario, at least how I feel like I wrote the characters with Bowser and Peach and stuff. Where sometimes these internet parodies, they feel like because I tried writing a Mario parody with using toilet humor because my producer, he wrote a script about not Pokemon, but Mario involving like poop, and I'm just like, oh, it's toilet humor. So I tried like doing my own take on it, and like you could just tell the beginning of it where like I'm using like pasta puns and like little references to stuff, and then like immediately where I'm like, oh yeah, the assignment is I have to make it potty humor, and the moment like it just switches from like the sincere parody to this like 2008 Newgrounds whatever like. But it was just really interesting to hear the characters in my head just become different people. Like they just didn't sound like Peach or Mario anymore. Versus like when I was writing it without, like when I was just like in my own little play bin, I was able to like make the characters feel authentic. Anyways, so the Pokemon script that I have, and I don't mind reading it to you guys if you're interested. I just need one person in the comments to be like, yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, please read that. Please do stupid voices for me. Dance monkey. Please do stupid voices for my amusement. Thank you. I'm like a vampire. I need to be invited to perform. All right. I will throw it up here and let you guys read it as I do it. So here's me. This is how I read scripts now, by the way. So exterior Pokemon League Stadium Battleground. An epic battle is happening between the Pokemon League champion Leon and his Charizard against Pikachu and Ash. With Ash Ketchum and his closest ally, Pikachu, on his shoulder. Are you ready for this, Pikachu? Pika-pee! Pika-pee! Let's do this. Pikachu, use 1,000,000 volt Giga Blaster! Pikachu! Clouds part as the building-sized lightning bolt comes crashing down into the stadium, engulfing everything in a blinding light. Ash and Pikachu stand diligently as smoke clears. The other side of the stadium is completely burnt, with the other trainer and his Pokemon are just bones. The audience is in complete silence of what just happened. Did we just witness a murder? The crowd begins to upward and cheer. Whatever that, you know the noise. Announcer comes on. Ash is in awe of what just happened. Did he really defeat the trainer? You love to see it here, folks. Small town year-old rookie from Pallet Town just became the Pokemon League's new Pokemon champion. I did it. No, we did it. We did it, Pikachu. We did it. Ash begins to rapidly age into an adult as we start to hear distant hospital noises and doctors speaking. The music ambience increases like an ear ringing, and everything stops. Interior hospital. Ash's room. Close-up of a medical grade plug being pulled from a wall socket by a nurse's hand. Cut to the heart monitor flatlining. Ash Ketchum, late 20s, even shaven, unshaven and in a gown, has been in a coma for the last 20 years. His mother, Delilah Ketchup. His mother, Delilah Ketchup. I did it again. His mother, Delilah Ketchum, is hysterically crying as Dr. Oak, who looks a lot like Professor Oak, soothes her. We're sorry. Wasn't anything else we could do for you. The camera focuses on Pikachu plush that rests in Ash's arms. The camera slowly zooms in on it as we hear quotes from the show overlaid with sad inspirational music. Just stuff like, "Believe me, I'm ready for a Pokemon! I choose you, Pikachu. I'm gonna be a Pokemon master. I caught my first Pokemon, etc., etc., etc. As we fade to black, and slowly go to silence, we see the text in loving memory, Ash Ketchum, 1997, 2023. End. The last person I read that to was like, "That's not funny," and I'm like, "It's not supposed to be." It was supposed to be like this, like referencing the Ash in the Coma, like theory that's so popular. Kind of like tapping into a little bit of the creepy pasta area, as far as like I was trying to make it look a little bit, of how I'm planning on making it look. I want to do like some. I want to try to make it look somewhat like the anime. Obviously, not like completely because I just don't have that like ability in the time span that this needs to be made. Um. Oh my gosh! I didn't know you had a coma. The thing about that, and I realized between the Chucky short, which is a comedy, like there's jokes and stuff and things, but like I definitely was like, when writing it, I kind of wanted to dip into the horror element more, but I know that like just because it being made for a specific channel, it wasn't going to like that wasn't going to fly. Um, and so like I don't know, immediately the next thing I write for anime is this like kind of dark thing. I don't think I want to write comedy. And which is where I started like toying around with wanting to do my sex story. Because it's not like it is humorous. I like it a lot. But I think it's funny and very cute. But I also want to tell like a real story. Like I don't want to rely on jokes. I want people to like actually be invested in these characters. And so I think that's where I am now. That's my sensibilities. Is that I'm kind of over internet parroting and ready to like start doing some serious stuff. Sounds exciting. I think it's exciting. I like it. I showed it to a couple of people that like seem to be really jiving with it. One of the people is very private, but they're someone that I really admire as an animator, and so the fact of art. Yeah, yeah. I do want to do something romantic and intimate and like um I don't like how this is coming out. Let's do this.
Oh,
But I think I'm just excited that I want to tell stories. Like for the longest time this year, I just didn't want to do anything creative. It was a struggle to even like do like day job stuff. And I think the Chucky short really awakened something in me. I think I realized that I could do stuff like um, in such a like capacity. Like I don't know if I don't know if I was able to say that I could do that before. I definitely had opportunities when it comes to animation where I was like I was not prepared for, and now I think I am. So no. Yeah, I'll probably end up showing some of the stuff in the middle of the stream, just some concept art. Honestly, if you followed my old account, that was more adult themed than my regular account. You've seen a lot. You've seen the art. It's just stuff from that. I think I want to take those characters and create a world for them to exist in the real world, or not real world, but in our world and in people's lives, and see what we could do here. I might see if I can bring on some of the people that worked on Chucky Toy Story, like Katie or Brock or Zane or Amber, or even the background artist Angela. I think I I really want to promote the people that helped me make my short. Like I sincerely like really appreciate them and their efforts. Like I know that they're paid people. My producer paid them, and so they were doing a job. But like I don't know, the fact that I couldn't have made it without them means the world to me. They did the things I can't do. I don't know. I only really see like people promoting their voice actors whenever it like brings more notoriety to the project. Namely, if it's like a famous voice actor, that's when I see a lot of people like celebrate them. But I don't know. I feel like everybody who's part of the project should be celebrated in some form. Um, I also found out that I am the nicest supervisor that my background artist has ever worked with. She's like, "You're way nicer than the German ones." I'm like, "That's cool." And my background artist actually scolded me at one point for being too nice. They made a mistake on something, and I just corrected it for them because it honestly probably would have taken me the same amount of time to explain what was wrong versus like me just opening Photoshop and doing a quick tweak. But like I'm supposed to learn from my mistakes. You gotta tell me to do the thing. That's what you paid me for. I'm like, we barely paid you. It's okay. To clarify, the background artists did get paid. It's just I don't. They're from Spain and they're like newer artists and stuff. So like they lowballed us. They did not get paid what they were worth, in my humble opinion. All right, so this is the heat. This will get the comment section going. Do you believe noodles belong in chili? Most people have a strangely strong opinion on this particular subject. And not to tempt anyone's hand, but I am definitely in favor of noodles in my spaghetti. Or not my spaghetti, but my chili, which that apparently, um, like I actually like spaghetti noodles in my chili in particular. But chili mac's really great too. But I feel like some people just they get very like bent out of shape saying that chili has to be just meat and beans and that's it. Not in the cooked noodles separately. Oh yeah. Definitely not like yeah. If you try cooking pasta with chili and doing it right, or well, doing it wrong in this case, yeah, you'll definitely get like mushy pasta stuff that's like disgusting and not worth it. So I'm so bad at like live streaming for other people. Like whenever Jim live streams, I try to like make it, and I'm usually in there for a little bit. But like, it's easier when you live alone. I think not that my partner doesn't like listening to Jim, but you know she doesn't have any interest. She doesn't have any emotional attachment to Jim. So and Jim's a little dry, admittedly. You know, hey guys, it's me, Jim, and today we're gonna talk about monster trucks. I used to be able to do a pretty good Jim impression. I can't anymore. I will say, I absolutely adore Jim. Jim is one of my favorite people. He is so authentically Jim in every scenario. Mostly every scenario. Now I think about it, I'm like, huh. Most scenarios. But yeah, no, like Jim is great. I love Jim so much. He is easily one of my favorite people I've met on the internet, and I might go visit him. Oh, did you? No, no. um, I know Jim's a lot more like tight, like quieter about stuff than I am when it comes to things. So I'm trying not like to overstep my bounds of talking about what we're working on. Um, all I know is that me and him are going to film some stuff, experiment, and not release things immediately. I think that's a safe thing to say. We're gonna experiment, see, you know, what does a Izzy and Jim thing look like, and you know, and not just kind of force it, you know, like our plan is to you should and take him the gift I got for him. What'd you get him? I don't think he's watching. Jim's too busy to watch my streams. But fair, you could just DM me it. Cause I want to know. I'm nosy. I'm a nosy bitch. tell you later. That's fine. That's fine. Whatever. It's cool. Keep your secrets. I'll worry about that later. I was trying to like not have to redraw the other leg. That might be more of a wait until the end thing to do. I put way too much detail into this one joke that's going to be on screen for like a second. Welcome to animation. That's something that's really funny to me is like the amount of work it compared to like the writer to the animator, especially with like a lot of the production stuff that I work with anime. It's very much like a lot of the stuff that we do is written in like one setting, maybe two or three, but usually it's done within the same day that we start. And so like working with the like Brock was writing for a bit, and then my producer writes. I just I don't know, it's just like okay. So this is a really famous example is Cabin in the Woods. In Cabin in the Woods, there's a scene where they like apparently in the script it's written as chaos happens on every screen, but like the production that the mess that caused in production because like the particular scene has like 20 TV screens and every screen has to have some kind of unique thing happening. So they had to film essentially 20 scenes all in one scene, all because of one sentence in the script. And I always try to like that's ooh, whoops, I messed up there. And so that's one thing I always try to stress whenever it's non-writers writing for animation who don't or non that sparks fear. Yeah, yeah. Another example is like the producer was like kind of grilling me on how long it would take for me to do sections of the Anime 34 episode. Um, and one of the skits was written as Winnie the Pooh does a stepbrother porn. Only line written, it's like one sentence, and it's "Oh brother, stepbrother, please help me." And like I'm like, all right, well if I had to give a budget based off of that, I guess like a half day that would take me. You know, it's like a one sentence skit, not a lot of animation. It's just Pooh stuck in like a hole. Then I get Brock's audio for it, and it's like a 30-second skit. It's just like this whole thing he created like improv basically, and I'm like, yeah, just so you guys know, that's not a half a day's worth of work. That's a week. We're gonna spend a week on that one. It's more of an illustration that gives off. Yeah, the visceral response. I understand that feeling too. Also, working in production has made me like, um, it makes watching YouTube videos harder. I'll say that much. Because a lot of the people, I love the cartoon community for the most part, but like most of them aren't like animators themselves or haven't really worked in any particular thing. And I have very limited experience working in the animation industry proper. Like I work at a studio and I produce animation, so like I'm in the industry, but you know, like I'm not like in the industry where I mean I have enough connections to people who work on cool stuff. I don't know. I guess I'm in the industry. It doesn't feel like it because I feel like I'm still on the internet. You know, like I don't feel like I've hit the thing. But I have worked for Wood Rocket. I have worked for I've worked for that was me censoring a person I'm not allowed to say that I worked for, but I did. You can take that as what you will. Um, I've worked for Netflix. I've done stuff for a bunch of big YouTubers. So I don't know. Like I'm successful enough. I feel good. I heard nothing. I should like go in because I think you can edit audio on YouTube now and just out of nowhere it just goes quiet for like a second. I mean, it's a good drawing. I just it's taking so much time. Shh, I'm cheating. All right, guys, ask me anything. Choose for the next I don't know, 15 minutes. I'll ask anything truthfully. Go. As if I don't already answer things truthfully, but just pretend. I don't know, I just want to get conversations going. I like talking to you guys. It's nice. Well, I'm waiting for people to respond to that, coming up with juicy questions. Oh my gosh, Elon Musk, like, can you like calm the fuck down? Like, I don't know why he's like. Oh, yeah, I understand what he's doing. He's having a tantrum because people don't think he's cool, and he's unable to handle the pressures of living up to a meme that he created for himself a long time ago. But whatever. I'm just more upset that he's like ruining people. Like specifically the obviously like artists like myself use Twitter a lot, so him kind of making it to where we making it more and more um, user unfriendly. I'm sure his plan is to um, like create a like oh like it's done with we're done with free promotion now. They're going to try to figure out a way to make you pay for it, which is essentially what Facebook did too. So this isn't like new. This isn't um like unheard of. It's just more like it's bad form, and just it and the motive is there. It's honestly just really really sad. I wasn't expecting his midlife crisis to be so exciting though. Or, I mean, it's a little rude for him to like be bringing all of us on his midlife crisis, but whatever, I guess. Entitled prick. That's my cat. I mean, that's me mimicking my cat. So my partner is currently watching Jessica Jones. Man, I've only drawn one of these, and it's been an hour and a half. Granted, I'm doing a little chatting and stuff too, but still, oof. Animation's time consuming. Oh man, do you guys remember when Animal Crossing? Oh, that was another skit I wrote for Animeme. Was I want to do like an Animal Crossing horror movie because apparently I just don't want to do like traditional comedy anymore. I think I'm just over it, and I'm super into horror now. And I don't know. I think there's just not a lot of horror content that's animated that isn't like creepy pasta or geared towards like young kids. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna animate this. I thought I was going to, but I think I'm just gonna do the still picture. Oh, hey, hey Sophie, how are you? By the way, I saw. Oh man, I want to ask you a question, but I'm scared because I saw one of your tweets and I don't want to make you feel called out again. I was oh man, I was kind of googling pizza party stuff just to see if like what people were saying and things, and for the most part, it looks like there wasn't really much of a discussion besides like me and Jim's two like post. And to clarify, I'm way okay with talking about podcast stuff now. Like I've pretty much uh truthfully, I went from really sad about it from last time I streamed to being okay with everything after coming out with it publicly, and I really liked how things landed. Now I'm in I'm not gonna make a stink anymore. Mistakes were made, and I'm a little mad, but like not like furious or anything. Just um, quite frankly, Pan Pizza is a fucking idiot, and I say that lovingly. Like our friendship isn't over or anything, but like he just if he wants to be friends, it's the ball is in his court. Is essentially is what I'm saying. So, and I'm glad that like for the most part. Anyways, I was looking up and I saw that you saw that I called you out on the Pizza Party podcast once. Um, and and I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't tell if it was like you were excited that you got called out or if it was like super embarrassing. All because all I know you said you wanted to hide in a hole, and I was like, oh, I did that. That's my fault. So I want to say sorry if I did affect you in a negative way. I think the shout out I was giving you was probably like a super nice one. But I totally understand that like if my intent wasn't but my intent wasn't to embarrass you or anything. I'm glad both you and or remembered me. Yeah, I always remember you. Um, like I legitimately want to do some review. I know you've been asking a lot of YouTubers to do reviews of the cartoon that you really like, and I'm gonna sincerely check that out. I don't know if I'll make a video directly yet because I can't even make videos on the stuff that I want to. But yeah, yeah, you know, I know how much you're passionate about that particular cartoon, and I know how much you want people to like, you know, see it, and I get it because I love Chucky, I love you know, Beast Wars, I love Extreme Ghostbusters, these like, you know, really niche shows that could have an audience if people found them. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I see you. All right, guys. I'm gonna let you guys choose. What color skin should the pony's original skin be? Should it be purple? Make it Twilight Sparkle or what? Meow. So, but the body's silver. I'm not saying I won't do it. I'm just saying that like I feel like it should be a different color. Tubi also had Extreme Ghostbusters for a little bit. It actually sucked because like I mostly made it because like, oh hey, Extreme Ghostbusters is streaming right now. I feel like people should get into this, and then like it's gone. Like I don't know if it's on any streaming site currently. I know that like whoever owns the I think it's Sony that owns Ghostbusters. They just have like a weird thing with Extreme. They don't give a shit. I think it just doesn't have like as big of a turn like the fan base is much smaller and it's decisive, so it's not. I understand why I don't get more merch and stuff. And this is what I'm trying to say. Also, can we just talk about how much of a trooper Jim is? Just I he's reassured me that he didn't come out about leaving officially because of me, but it feels like it. Feels like I'm the catalyst for it. But he's reassured me it's fine, it's okay. But that was not a chain reaction that I personally was actually expecting nor requesting. it's weird because like I kind of want to like not talk about it, but at the same time it's also like this like thing that happened, and like it's fresh in my mind, so like naturally I'm gravitating towards thinking about it and talking about it and stuff. But like whatever, it's my stream, I can do whatever I want. um what's your favorite part of what were you were my favorite? Aw, that really? Aw, why? Like, why? That's I what? You guys are way too kind. I, you know, I know what you mean. I don't think I had met a trans. Okay, so I met one person that was trans before I came out, but it was at the moment I started exploring myself. So I found them like in the same spot that I was. They just had came out a little bit sooner. Um, yeah, I coming out at the time that I did. I mean, now it's still scary. Like I wouldn't wish it on anybody. Like obviously, yes, of course, come out. But I mean, like the stuff that like that's been going through, and the scary uncertain times and stuff is not great. It's not ideal to have like a children's author be like constantly attacking us. Like that's not a normal thing that was happening before. But um, 'cause I think I came out around the same time that gay marriage got legalized. I think like that was my like, okay, it sounds like things are safe now. I guess I'm going to explore this thing publicly. um yeah, so I can so because as I was doing my sweep to see like who said stuff about the podcast or me leaving or Jim leaving and stuff, just because I was curious about like how many fans are like still like checking the TV tropes or stuff or updating it. And it looks like most people have given up on all of it, partially because we went on hiatus, and partially because I don't know if people are jiving with the current people, or the current how the podcast is currently. But like one of the things I did see, and I screenshotted it, so I will quote this. But this actually made me like super teary eyed. I was just like, "Aw." Um, Perhaps the most heartwarming and genuine moment from the podcast was when Izzy came out as a transgender girl. The response to her from everyone was extremely supportive and encouraging, but special mention goes to Pan's hilariously cute comment, "We finally have a girl on the podcast." Yeah. You know. And yeah, that it's true. So some backstory on that is Nolan actually was the one that like he didn't force me to come out, but he was definitely the reason why I came out on the podcast. My original plan was to not be out about it. I was just going to pretend to be Stev and just kind of that be my online persona type thing, because I get it. Someone that doesn't normally speak feminine all of a sudden trying to do a feminine voice is not the most like, I don't think my voice sounds good. I'm glad you guys apparently enjoy it, but like I don't. I hate it. I hate it so much. But Nolan encouraged me. He told me it's gonna be fine. Everything's great. He's gay. On the podcast, and it's totally cool. and that like I deserve to be like my own authentic self on even on the platform. And yeah, like Nolan, there's a chance that Izzy might not have been a public thing without Nolan. And I know like it's weird to talk about Nolan right now because of all the stuff that's happened. Yeah. Okay, I want to quote Jim on one thing that I thought was really really funny, and it's a private conversation. So Jim, yell at me if you find out about this. But the thing that made me laugh the most about all of this is I was updating Jim about stuff I learned about the behind the scenes stuff about the podcast, and like for example, one of the things I'm not like super excited about is the fact that like Pan's not the one posting on the Pizza Party podcast thing. It's now it's just Daft pretending to be Pan, and that bothers me a little bit. Like it seems a little insincere. Like because you know the podcast was such an intimate thing, so like to change it to where now you have like someone else pretending to be someone else to um, for brand recognition is just kind of ugh. Um, anyways, I was telling Jim about that, and Jim was like, "Oh, I knew." I'm like, "You knew?" He goes, "Yeah." At one point, the podcast thing posted about someone's birthday. Pan would remember someone's birthday, and I just started laughing so because it's true. But yeah, again, I know I'm talking about it, but I am glad that I'm in a place now where I'm no longer hurt by it. You know, like it doesn't make me want to cry. It's somewhat funny, somewhat sad, somewhat. It's the end of a chapter. It's cool. It's fine. Anyways, that's RoboClop. Okay, easily bake oven. I have designed, so that's cool. I get to like trace over something, so that should speed up the process. What's really really cool is the animation for this. I'm actually outsourcing it with Red Minus. Red Minus is actually going to do the smoke animation for this particular character, and that makes me pretty excited and happy. It's actually really funny because Red used to work for us on Yamama and stuff. Obviously, it's like his art style and things, and he's since left the company. Um, that's his story to tell. Anyways, but the fact that like he's kind of semi working on something is just really humorous. But it's mostly because it's a favor to me. Aw, well, you guys are you've already said that I was like one of your favorite elements of the podcast. Me being not there means automatically that you won't like it as much. So, um, but I haven't listened to the podcast, by the way. I have checked out the art. I love Jake's art. Um, if anyone's interested, Jake has messaged me and contacted me. According to Jake, he was unaware of the scenario of what happened. He thought I left willingly and stuff, and yeah. So me and him had a little bit of a talk. I'm not like I want to make it like a point abundantly clear that like when I made my post and when I talked about it, I wasn't mad at anybody. I was just hurt. You know, like it was mostly like I don't know. I was blindsided because I was working on graphics for a reboot that like Pan gave to me, and then all of a sudden someone else was doing it. But anyways, so if you guys are worried about that, Jake did reach out. He seems very nice. Well, I mean, I was sad about it. Now it's just kind of like, oh, that happened. Like, yeah. Anyways, I really do need to stop talking about it. I need to just move on now. It just sucks because it was like my like, it was like a big part of me. Like that was a chunk. It does feel quite unfair in a way. Yeah. Like, but it was mostly poor communication between parties. Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely Pan's terrible at communication. Like essentially what happened was he told two people they could be in charge of a reboot, and instead of like deciding on one person or the other person wanted it more, I guess, and pushed for it. And it's whatever. Um, the pizza party isn't the same thing anymore. It's a product. It's not a group of friends doing stuff for the sake of like, because that was the thing, was the podcast was just literally an excuse for me, Pan, and Jim and Nolan at a time to get together. Like, we didn't see it as a product. We didn't see it as a thing to get sponsorships or like MomoCon was a fluke. It wasn't like a thing we were trying to do. It was just for us an excuse to network with other animators and then also like hang out because Pan's so bad at communicating that like my entire relationship with Pan is on the podcast. Like I don't talk to Pan outside the podcast. What makes me so upset about him rebooting the podcast without me is that's him basically throwing me away. Like we have no reason to talk to each other outside of the obligation of the podcast, and I like that obligation. It might just sound like we're bad friends, but it's mostly just that's Pan's really bad at like communicating. So like the podcast was like his way, and he also thinks the same way. Like it's not like some big conspiracy that like Pan was sick of my shit and threw me away. It's mostly just Pan saw an opportunity to do the podcast without having to do anything, and he threw it he threw it at the person that offered that to him. So there is one thing that if I do find out happens, I will make us think about. And I've tried, I've debated. There's a piece again, like I'm trying to move on from this. I know I keep like bringing it up and shit, but like I am legitimately trying to move on from it. But there's like this one little piece that's like bothering me, and I want to ask the question, but that just like it keeps it open. And as far as the public goes now, me and Pan are friends now, so it's all fine. So there's no reason to do drama. So it's whatever, but it's just like I will be really upset if I find out that Daft and Jake are making money off the podcast because me and Jim did it for free. We did it for so many years for free. Like only Pan made money off the podcast, and um, I have a sneaking suspicion based off what I've heard that the new co-hosts are getting compensated. Hi, Damon. How are you doing? Damien's great. I like Damien. Damien is a Facebook friend because I've also been advertising my streams on Facebook. I do love it. My current character is like 70% impulse. Oh man, I've played one round of a D&D like scenario game thing where we were superheroes, and I think like this was like in college with an ex and her family and stuff, but big geeks in that household. And I remember in it there was like sorry, I'm doing little dot stuff. I just remember I think my ability was like I was invincible but not like strong. So like I think at one point I ended up killing a bad guy by like thrusting myself upon them, knocking them into the water. Oh, I think it was like heavy. That was the thing. It was like I was like made of stone but invincible. So I just kind of like basically just threw myself on top of someone in the water so that they would sink. Yeah, I think I refer to my. I think my superhero name was like Meat Shield or something. I feel like I would be really good at D&D because I can get really into stuff, especially like role play things. But like, I don't know the mechanics of it very well, and that like I'm such an outsider to it that like it intimidates me too much for me to try. Doing a bath cannon bomb on the enemy. Man, I'm so bad at drawing. Ah, my immediate thought was that you had a strong baseball pitch to your character. My nephew has recently. Rest in peace, the first D&D episode of Community on most social media platforms, because a character plays a dark elf, and apparently that is racist now. I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, they left out the actual like brown face episode, so it seems very insincere to like cut out this thing which is clearly fake and then leave in the actual racism. That's very very Netflix of them. Because like, so essentially they cut the episode and not even cut the joke. They could have easily had like edited out Chang by either doing close-ups, zooms, and just cutting out his scene and it being a shorter episode. But no, they're like, we're gonna remove the whole thing in this performative act, and then like, but we're also gonna keep the actual like, because in the episode that I'm referring to, they can't just delete the scene because it's actually like a crucial part of it and it's part of the season finale. So like, it's much easier. It's much harder to edit out versus the the episode in question referring to of D&D. That's a standalone episode that's easily edited out. So it's literally all performance and no actual like giving a shit. So the question is, do I want to take the time to animate this door, or do I want to like do I want to animate a door, or do I want to just like have smoke come out of his mouth and have the door kind of already open from the beginning, you know? Because I think I always envisioned it opening, but like, oh my gosh, this is a 30-second additional scene. Like, there's so much additional animation that I'm like, I want to focus on more of the GI Grow or Same Day Optimus Prime. Because I think just adding like coughing noises would have been just fine. What'd I do? I'm stupid. Maybe the Steam has like a print of a mouth inside. I don't know if I understand that one. back out. But I care about you, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Damien. I hope you're doing well too. You know, feel free to message me whenever. No, this was more like a nose than anything. The mouth was going to be the whole like thing opening. Take care. Okay, I don't like how that looks. I'm just gonna keep using tools because it looks clean. Currently drawing concept art for Billy Boom trifled plant. Ooh, sounds fun. To feel my energy dip significantly, and you know, gotta just streaming takes a lot out of me, more than I think it should. Most likely, I don't know, maybe I'm just weak-willed, but it is surprisingly draining. It in the podcast, because you know it is just a bunch of people talking, but in a way you're like constantly calculating what you're saying, what you're doing. On top of that, you're like not just working but performing. Yeah, I don't know. I like to give you guys a little content, since I've been so busy with animation that I haven't really been able to do like videos. So I don't know. I'm not saying I'm going to stream every weekend, but we'll see. The worst part though is that whenever I want to do streaming stuff, it's always like in the middle of the day where everyone's at work and stuff, so it makes it really difficult for people to catch the stream live. I mean, I guess people can just check out the after thing, but sometimes I don't. I feel like art streams, it's less fun to do that. So when I was doing research with this one, because I was like looking up toys and shit, and this particular one, the Easy Bake Oven looks more like a microwave. No matter which way I looked at it, I was like, it's a microwave. I cannot make this actually look like an Easy Bake Oven. Oh, my old Venus Flame chat was drawn to music. That's fun. So what color should I make the pastafarian? So okay, I'm trying not to make it pastafarian colored, but like in my head when I did this, I thought this was going to be like, you know, typical stoner colors. It's food time! That's the food time alarm, guys. Did you know it's food time? The cats do. I might have to get off here and feed the cats because it doesn't seem like my partner is getting up to do it. So she might still be sleeping. So I'm gonna let me BRB. And I'm back. Hey guys. So my partner's asleep. She went in the other room and just passed out. I could hear her snoring when I went to use the bathroom. So that's why she didn't feed the cats. and she shall be punished later. No, that's so funny. But yeah, the cats are fed. I fall asleep pretty deeply when I do fall asleep. It's pretty great. I fall asleep during movies a lot. Oh well, it's gonna be covered. I don't know why I'm like caring so much about whether or not this looks good. It's gonna be covered in smoke. You won't even see it. I just want it to be there just in case. Because I mean, there's a probability that I could like end up making the the smoke like transparent or something. No, the easy bake oven's more. It is basically a microwave. Hello, Super Kirby Dude. How are you? Lazy Sunday. Oh man, I want a lazy Sunday. I don't know. Part of me like, okay. Admittedly, I do have some like back issues going on, so like sometimes working on the computer hurts. So like I tend to like leave streams pretty early because of that. I just need to lose some weight and work out and get myself back into healthy condition. Um, TBH. Me convincing myself to leave this section and just go to somewhere else immediately comes back to fix what I was trying not to fix. Go me. All right, here's a question for you guys. Semi podcast related, but not completely. Well, it is, but you get my point. If you get my point. No, you don't. I haven't made a point yet. What am I doing? I'm sorry. Speaking while drawing is hard sometimes, folks. Um, um, there was a point. I had a thing. Oh, do I count as like part of the cartoon community anymore? Am I booted? Should I leave the Discord that I got added in a long time ago? Like, do I count? Because I feel like I was only part of the YouTube animation community because I was connected to Pan. So it's like, do I count? Will Saber Spark acknowledge me in public? You know, that type of stuff. So I always felt like kind of a guest in that community because of my connection to someone that's actually noteworthy. The irony is that I actually work on cartoons, but you get my point. Like, I know you guys don't. That was a thought that I've like, man, you keep saying you want to be past the podcast, so you might as well shut up about it. But that thought popped in my head, and I'm just like, do I count? I decided to abstractly draw pot leaves, essentially, is what's happening here. Is the girl okay? So I don't know any. So this is why I'm asking if I'm part of it, since like I'm clearly not because I know nothing that's happening. What's happening within the cartoon community? Or is it just people being upset with like the state of animation right now? Because I'll be honest, I was really gearing towards wanting to get into the community or not community. The I wanted to get into the industry more proper for animation, but like right now things are a little like I don't know. I might just fare off better like doing independent stuff. It's lost its charm? What do you mean? Also, what counts as the cartoon community while we're at it? Like, sorry, I'm a gossipy. I'm like, ooh, gossip. I'm not part of this. I'm kind of not part of this community. So please tell me all of it. It doesn't affect me. Yeah, yeah. I'm mostly referring to the Western animation industry. I'm sure the what Eastern one has its own pitfalls and fun things in it. You know. Oh, art style discussions. Oh, that's no fun. Talk about story. That's fun. I like talking about stories. Story and character. Yeah. Like all right, hot take. I don't see a difference between anime and Western animation. I think they're the same thing. I think the whole distinction of calling anime something different feels like it's more of an entitlement of like like I remember like when I was an anime fan, like a hardcore one in high school. Um, it was super important to me that people know that I was watching adult cartoons and not Western cartoons. You know, these are adult. These are for, mature people. And so I'm wondering how much of that is like the zeitgeist for everybody, or if that was just my experience. Um, but I don't know. I feel like the whole like rivalry between the two is just dumb and unnecessary. And it's not like, both styles borrow heavily from each other. Because, like, subjectively, it's fine to like one art style over the other, but to like try to claim that it's better or like, I don't know. Just the aggression in all of it sometimes is a little ridiculous and unnecessary. But I mean, like the thing is like as much as people want to like make it seem like it's different, SpongeBob airs over there in Japanese next to other stuff. Like there's not like this distinct thing on either side. It's just literally the fandom. Also, I like to point out that anime is both a Japanese and a French word, and I'm not 100% sure which one it stems from. I think it might actually be like the origin might be French, because anime sounds French. It doesn't sound Japanese. But hope this chill ass music's fine. By the way, guys, I haven't listened to it before. I just literally needed to throw something on so that it wouldn't be just dead silent. So I think I might actually cheat this and just skew a little bit and let smoke pour out that way. Just because I don't want to do too much animation for this 1 second gag. I'm so lazy. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, so like, as someone who taught animation in a college level for a little bit there, um, one of the things that's super frustrating is as an animation teacher, there's a lot of people that come into classes wanting to do anime, which is not a it's not a good entry level like thing to get into. I think anime, especially the stuff that I grew up on, has a lot of stuff that like makes character animation, like character acting, harder for people to do if they grew up with anime, and that's mostly because like, um, all right. Here's my little rant about stuff. Is So this okay, keep in mind this is my theory. This is my thoughts on it. So like this could be completely wrong, but this is how I think about character acting. So for me, when I think of character acting, I think of obviously there's what the character is saying, but there's also like, the facial expression and the eyes and stuff, like communicating. Like you see emotion from these. You can start picking out stuff with that. The fact that the character is looking away from, say, I assume the character's over here. Actually, let's just and like I don't know, like it tells a story by like looking at their eye line and what they're doing and emotions and stuff, and like you can kind of need to start looking at things from there. The character's not looking away, so we assume shame, mouthpieces, the eyes, and then like shape stuff too. Like the more triangular something is, the more sharp, the more like it's now dangerous. Blah blah blah. That stuff's like all part of the acting, but like when a lot of the stuff that I see a lot of anime fans come into animation courses with, they tend to want to do shortcuts that are like the I'm uncomfortable sweat drop or this stuff, um, which are really interesting and fun things when used correctly. But like, they're symbols. They're shortcuts. They're not. Um, if the other thing was like leading you through the past to get to the thing, this is just like taking this and jumping over it and then getting to the thing. Um, like this stuff is no different to me than this equals bathroom. This isn't emotion or character acting. This is just symbols. These represent stuff. These are shortcuts to say, by default, sweat equals uncomfortable. And that's what I mean. It's just symbols. It's shortcuts. It's little like gestures to immediately indicate something. And I think that the reason is you see a lot of those in like younger, like aimed at young children animes, is because I think they're just an easy way to communicate to someone that's very very young. They definitely are charming and have their place, especially stuff like this. Um, and we've seen stuff like Teen Titans really, really like use them to a full effect. But it's similar to like how I hate teaching smears to people, because trying to get people to know that like I don't know. I don't know why that went lower, but like trying to teach people that like um that you need to like do frames to get to like your in betweens and stuff. But then as soon as you teach them smears, it's just Johnny Bravo animations from here on out. Like everyone's like, wait, I can get to point A to point B in one frame. Why am I doing this shit when I could do this? this, and it's like, but because this looks good and this is fun on occasion. These are not meant to replace movement. It's supposed to enhance movement. I'm so whiny. That's my little animation rant. You can have a smear as a little as a treat. Yeah, yeah. Um, Plus, also, if you do nothing but smears, it loses its impact. You know, like. Okay, so here's something I could talk to you guys about while I'm finishing up this last thing before I get off here. One of the things that happened in this particular short that I'm not super jazzed about is that I ended up having to redo a lot of the other animators' work. And the thing that I want to point out about this is that I think it would be really easy for someone to blame the other animator for that. You know, like, oh my gosh, they weren't able to get to the quality that I wanted them to. But I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think the fact that I had to redo some of their stuff is more of a failing on me than them. And what I mean by that is that, like, you know, I could have always sent the animation back to them. I just felt like it was easier for me to finish some of the stuff than it is to explain what they did wrong. Obviously, I sent them stuff that, like, if they did like really bad or like the line art wasn't there, and you know, I'm bad subjective in these cases. But I think I don't know. I just want to like it was a learning experience, and I want to make sure that like I talk about a little bit of those failures and stuff because I don't want to pretend like that like it was flawless. You know, there was a couple of things that happened that like I wasn't ideal. But that was a big one. This is my first time actually directing other animators. Like, so far, I've mostly only ever had to direct, like, voice actors for things I'm doing. Or, like, you know, give it to the sound guy who normally does whatever he wants because he's really good at what he does. So, like, you know, the thing that I learned is that, like, I can't expect people to think like me or behave like me. Because I was telling another animator about that. He was like, "Oh, well, did you expect like, you know, these people are that this isn't their project. You can't expect them to want to do stuff the same level like you want them to." I'm like, "Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. I should have been smarter." Um, but like the big thing for me was, um, I originally did not know that I was going to be doing a multi-animator project. When the first week of production, me making all the assets and stuff. I found out that I got another animator thrown onto me, and I had not planned for it. So like a lot of the character designs, they're this, you know, they're just sketches. They're not finalized stuff. How is the person going to know what this character looks like finalized, you know, because I haven't drawn it for them to let them know. So anything they do would be a guess. And obviously, like if I knew I was gonna have another animator, I would have spent way more time on like character designs and stuff. But obviously, I didn't have that luxury to know, which is, you know, it is what it is. I'm not upset by it or anything. It definitely, because ideally you would think adding another animator would automatically speed up the process, but that's not true. That's far from true. Like, because all of a sudden now I have this deadline that I gave myself that I plan on doing, but I'm also like in charge of another animator. So I'm like working on my shots, but also setting up shots for them. at the same time. And then I'm also making like this organization sheet thing. And yeah, I just it was so exhausting. So much stuff. I don't mind it. It's just I've been in the position of having to like clean up other people's messes so often at this particular job that like that sometimes it's really difficult to for me to like not just do things. Yeah, right? Like having to like work with other people when you weren't planning on it and things. Like there's so much that goes involved. So like um so sometimes like if I'm trying to think of a way that like it wouldn't have like slowed down process because every time you add somebody like okay, so another thing is I'm working on episode 34 of Animeme and I got to hire another animator to work on that. And like so I hired a friend Goni. She's doing this really funny. She was actually okay. So remember, I was supposed to get the actress Nikki or the porn actress Nikki Hudson on the podcast. We actually got her on, but the internet wasn't working and stuff. Well, anyways, I got her hired to do moaning for me for an anime short. Sorry, I'm even though this is not the final timing, I want to get it down, but it should be cool. Now we know how long this is going to be. Classic PPP moment. I wish I could hear those first 10 minutes. Oh yeah, they were so good. She was like insulting Pan the entire time. Like I kind of like let her know that he's into humiliation, so she was like really playing it up, and it's pretty great. Even funnier now because I think she's doing a lot of femdom stuff. So like she's bossing people around and being a dominatrix in a lot of her like personal projects. Anyway, actually, you know what? I'll tell you guys. I was talking to Nikki about stuff, and I ended up showing her a lot of my like private collection. I don't really like show a lot of people. Slash, I used to show it for a bit there on the my Sapphic Sapphire account. Sapphic Sapphire. That's not it. It's Sapphic Sapphire. No, wait. What the fuck is my name? Sapphic Sour. That was it. Sapphic Sour. So, anyways, I was chatting with her because as you do, and we're talking about like her work, what she did. We both ended up working on Wood Rocket, so like we've worked for the same porn company, which is funny, because I'm clearly not a porn star. Do have a porn name though. So, anyways, so I was showing her some of my work, and you know what, we're about to end the stream anyway, so I'll show you guys some stuff, and maybe might cut it out later. But anyways, I was showing her things. I told her about like what my passion project would be if I could do anything, and she's like, "You would make so much money. Do it. Can I voice in it?" And I'm like, "Huh? I could legitimately have a like award-winning porn star in my sex cartoon." Like, wouldn't that be dope? So, anyways, so I was telling her, and then I was telling another friend about it. It's like, yeah, yeah. So I was talking to Nikki Huntsman. She wants me to make a cartoon, and then my friend was just like, "Do it." I'm like, "What?" And they're like I've thought about it. You should do it. I've seen your stuff. This is your strength. Play to it. Like if this is something you could do without getting burnt out, why not? And I was like, huh. All right. So Nikki Hudson's telling me to make a Pornhub account for this cartoon thing, and I have another person being like, yeah, do it. Talk to my girlfriend about it, and she's like, that's awesome, do it. And I'm like, all right. So it's like, I don't know. The universe seems to be like, Izzy, you need to make this gay ass cartoon about two lesbians. Like it needs to happen. It's just, I don't know. Like I'm a little nervous to share it because like the subject matter is like, oh, so Izzy's into stuff, huh? Like that's it. Like I don't want to like. It's like what you say. Like, hey, I'm into this. All of a sudden, it's out there. I'm smiling so hard because I'm like I'm going to show it, but like I'm in that like, oh god, oh why? I've never like I've obviously posted online before because I had the other account, but like it's never been attached to this me. But I don't know. It's not even like that. Like it's not even like super weird. Okay, anyways, here's some art that I want to do. I have this like femdom lesbians characters that are like comfort characters that I like to draw in like scenarios, and a lot of times they're like sensual more than they are sexual. And a few of these that I'm about to show you guys are I think 1 year instead of doing Inktober. I did Inktober, but it was Kinktober, where I just like found a list of things and ended up drawing sexy little drawings with Copic markers and things. In fact, I think if I looked at the library, yeah, you can see some of them. So, anyways, yeah. So, like, I think this one was smoking fetish that popped up. And so, it's Copic markers, just doing cute little things like this. And then I started remaking those digitally. And yeah, so like, anyways, I've took the time to draw little sensors over thingies. But I think like I have a really cool art style that would look really cool animated. Um, I think that. By the way, Sophie, I have a Discord that I just created that's like for friends. If you're interested, yeah, it's not that bad. I'm overplaying it because like I've kept like the fact that like I'm quote unquote kinky like really close to the chest because as a trans person, um, it's one of those things where if you're too sexual online, people start putting you into a certain category, and like we already have issues with like people calling trans people groomers and like hypersexualizing trans people. So like just because I happen to be someone that enjoys uh explorative sex is ah yeah. And so like this one I think would be really fun. The idea of sensory deprivation where like the character can't see. So like I want to, I think it'd be really cool to like maybe even like film, or because I have enough like friends that like do online porn. Like someone do like a scene and just taking the audio from that and then like repurposing it, like recreating the audio without knowing what physically happened, because that's what essentially my sub character is thinking about. And I think it could be really really cool to see in animation, kind of like maybe animated very similar to Samurai Jack for like the imagination segments. I don't know, just thoughts. And then this one's cute. I like this one. I really like the limited palette. I think it gives it a very distinct style, a taste to it, if you will. I think my art style is really, really cute. It's got that like wholesomeness to it to where it can be sensual and sexual and fun without it being like that's the thing is that like it's kinky art, but it's not like sexual. It's cute and wholesome and like it to me it makes me happy. I like this. I like this like taking these two extreme thoughts that people have, which is like, you know, you think of BDSM and kink and you immediately think of like dark and like harsh and like, you know, mean and like you know, shame and like all those things. But then like taking it and like adding this like bubblegum flavoring to it, because like to me this is what I see these types of relationships as, like extreme versions of relationships. You they have like rules and stuff and they're really, really cool. Yeah, and I think there's an audience for this. Like I don't know. Like I was jokingly talking about like how like, you know, do I watch porn? Technically no, because there isn't anything there for me. I don't really care about the actual like whatever stuff. I don't care about that. That's you know, that feels good when you're in the moment watching it. It's a little boring to me, but like, oh man, some of those scenes with like, you know, those unique elements. Oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so good to like witness like what that dynamic looks like outside the bedroom? Um, you know, like cuz these people live very unique lives and like I want to explore that so much. Like I don't know. So my original intent for these characters was to do a web comic, and I was going to have like a serialized story. I have their backstory. I know where they come from. I know what their goals in life are. I know what they are to each other in the sense of because both characters are people that have experienced some form of trauma, and I think a lot of kink is responses to trauma. I think when people go dom or sub, it's them reacting to trauma in a very distinct way. In my personal life, I've definitely responded to my trauma in the more submissive way. To be honest, I back down on things, and I spend a lot of time making sure the people around me are enjoying my company and like not. I don't know. Being on the podcast was very stressful. Seeing all the negative comments and trying to like alter myself to better fit the dynamic and like all that stuff. I know that's like I'm taking so much stuff there. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm talented enough that I can make a animated show look pretty good. I think I understand the material. Like you've seen how deep. You know, you're fine. You're fine. We're talking. You've seen how deep I am with like Bowser and like, you know, Mario, and you'll probably see how deep I am with Chucky. Like, you know, I want to make these sincere love letters, and so like this is something that I sincerely spend a lot of time thinking about and love and want to explore in a narrative way. I think the closest thing that that my story would be probably probably Sunstone, that webcomic, or not webcomic. It's actually a comic now. I own it physically. That's probably the closest. Like as far as tone and stuff goes that I want to do with this. Well, obviously art style is completely different, but you know. So I think what so I have like two paths I want to take. I do want to make a short film with these two characters really, really badly. Like a 10-minute short film. And I think, but I don't know how much of it is like things that just make me happy and how much of it would be actually interesting for an outsider to like watch. Like specifically, I love the idea of exploring what these two are like on their first date at a coffee shop, which is not like the thing that you would think would be like the porn element, you know. But I think I have a really cool story with that, but I don't know. It could be really boring and mundane for most people who are wanting like other stuff. So the other option I have is I might start making like 10-second to 30-second skits with these two characters, and I'm using the word skit very loosely here. And what I mean by that is you can tell that like my voice is starting to like shift into like professional me pitching kind of. I don't know. I have different voices when I'm doing stuff, and I can hear. I think it might be I'm shifting into a different me. um, that makes it sound like a dissociative thing. No, I just meant like tone shifting. You know, like you don't act the same while you're at work, while you're at home. Um, but I do like maybe like these little soft moments that some are based off memories that I have. Some are stuff I've witnessed at events and things like that. But like I love the idea of just having these little relatable moments, but they're like tinged in this unique style of life. But yeah. So, anyways, guys, ladies, friends, non binaries, and anyone in between that, any and everyone, I just want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry I only got 2 toys done with, I think it's Sonic, or the Knuckles toy is definitely going to get animated. I think the Optimus Prime one's going to get animated. And I think that's another one that's going to get so there's like 3 of them, and then I got to redo Woody's animated. Why did I do this myself? I was done. I could then have done. Why can't I just do simple stuff like replace things instead of adding new dialogue and scenes and shit? Why am I like this? It's because I care. It is. Like I. So yeah, let's get this off the screen. Enough of that. Oh, GI grows. That's simple enough. I think I made a Pokemon. I think that's what this is. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and yeah, thank you for letting me be a little too much of myself publicly. We'll see if I keep this stream up. I might get cold turkey, folks. We'll see. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really enjoyed it, and who knows? Maybe expect me to do this again next week. All right. Peace, guys.